We received a wall of text from Gabriel.
Okay.
Oh no, that is not a flattering description of this email.
I know, but it's very long. But I'm not gonna. I'm gonna try and distill it. Apparently, he or she, I'm not sure which, apparently has trouble with scientism being the only means of arriving at truth.
Okay.
Yeah. That was my reaction too.
I have said in the past, I feel like scientism was a word just made up by people attacking science, and I have been assured by people I respect that this is a recognized concept. And I'll even go so far as to say that I agree that science doesn't help you make all your decisions in life. You need a value system and some ethics to help you make good decisions that don't hurt other people. But I don't know where this guy is going, so...
Right. Let's see. He says, finally, there's a strong bias towards talking about science as if it only included natural science or the core fields thereof, namely physics, chemistry, and biology, you know.
And?
Yeah. That social science is missing an important theoretical revolution, hopefully for him at least, to be able to attain a satisfying degree of scientificity.
Wait, what was that last word?
Scientificity. Scientificity.
Oh, now we're just making up.
I know.
Not a word.
But
how many prefixes can I put on here? How many suffixes can I add? Does that make it a better word if I add more suffixes?
Everything's a better word. If you add more suffixes, it's I-E.
Okay.
Ish.
Os.
Ism.
There are many reasons one should be very skeptic of scientism's claims. First, science isn't easy and doesn't appear by magic either. Well, duh.
I think that is why we do take it seriously.
Yeah. Even when something's been staring us in the eyes for a long time, it's not always easy to think of a scientific method to study an empirical phenomenon. There's no guarantee that we'll find a method or approach for any given empirical phenomena, even if we want to study it scientifically.
So my question is always...
So what do we do? Throw up our hands and give up?
Yeah, this is the sort of sentence that's always thrown out moments before saying, so my idea makes as much sense as anything else.
Yeah, it's just... Okay. The thing that makes me mad is when people are like, it's an easy question. Why isn't there an easy answer? It's like, because it's not as easy a question as you think it is. Like, prove gravity. How is gravity real? Well, I could talk to you about gravitational waves. I could talk to you about ways that we visualize gravity. Like, okay. I interrupted you. Please continue.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
That's all we do on this show.
I think you kind of predicted the end. She goes, therefore, wanting to know the world through science is a beautiful wish, but science has not, nor will it likely anytime soon, studied everything there is to know about the world.
Okay,
guess what? It's never made that claim.
What's he selling?
I don't know.
If I use the word therefore, that means that my point is extra valid, because that's a smart person word.
Yes. I don't know. If you want to be taken really seriously, you say ergo.
Yeah.
Now, here's the one I like. Second is a corollary to the first. Sometimes the best knowledge we currently have of some empirical phenomena isn't scientific knowledge because we don't have any scientific knowledge of such phenomenon or we don't have enough. Still, though we may qualify claims of knowledge in those instances.
That's like a...
Wait.
I don't think we could advance the notion that there's no knowledge there whatsoever.
Maybe turn the brightness.
For instance, I'm guessing a beet farmer knows how to grow beets, and I wouldn't feel irrational for suggesting he has better knowledge of beet agriculture than I do.
This is the letter Dennis is reading if you were watching the YouTube stream.
Scrolling pages of it, yes.
That's an essay. That's longer than essays I've written.
That is...
Even if I wouldn't claim he has scientific knowledge of beets just because he knows how to grow them, I'm not suggesting there isn't any scientific study of beet agriculture. You could replace beets with any understudied crop and get the same argument. The point is purely formal. All we need to accept for the argument to work is that there are things scientists don't study or haven't studied that people have firsthand knowledge or experience of.
Haven't studied yet.
But what drives me crazy is that, yes, the scientific method is very strict. It attempts to remove as much bias as possible. But a beet farmer, even a self-taught beet farmer, is using portions of the scientific method to get to where he is.
Yeah.
I mean, he's I'll grow these beets over here, and I won't water these as much, and we'll see what happens. I mean, he's gonna experiment.
Yeah.
It's just human nature to experiment.
Yeah.
To be fair, I don't think this guy is saying that science has no place in anything and should not be trusted ever.
No, he's not saying that.
He's just saying it's not everything.
Right.
He's saying it in a very tedious way.
But he's saying you don't use it in your day-to-day life. But in fact, you do. Heck, my dog uses the scientific method. I mean, my dog goes, oh, if I spin around 3 times, he'll let me out the door. Okay, I'll do it. I'll test it again. Yeah, he let me out the door. You know, yes.
I mean, if you're going to be that loose about it, then you can say creationists are using the scientific method.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing to me that bothers me the most about these kinds of questions is that it, first of all, makes the false claim that scientists have said that science knows everything about the world.
Which I've never heard anyone seriously
Nobody has ever said that except people with an agenda to discredit science.
Yeah.
And second of all, like, saying, oh, well, science doesn't know everything is literally just setting up a God of the gaps argument, which is so boring and so overdone.
Yep.
And it's just, we've talked about this before. Come on.
I mean, if you watched the talk that I gave at American Atheists a few weeks ago, and you should, the thing I opened with was the fact that a great scientific lecture I heard recently was from an old high school friend of mine who is a distinguished physicist now. Yeah. And his book is called We Have No Idea. And it's all about the vast amount of stuff that we don't know about in the universe.
Sure.
It's not like a gotcha for scientists to say you guys don't know everything. This is what many of them lead with.
And one of the most exciting things to hear in a scientific question is, I don't know. And now we have this whole thing that we can go and investigate, and we can learn more about the universe by doing that. And just saying, well, science doesn't have all the answers. Well, yeah, science doesn't have all the answers. That's the cool thing, is that we get to participate in finding out more. Like, that is so exciting to me, that there is still more to learn. You know, and just like it's just so dismissive to be like, well, science doesn't have all the answers, therefore, like,
science doesn't know where the water is under this field, so I'll get a dowser. Right. It's like, no.
Yeah.
That doesn't follow.
Right. Or more likely, the dowser who charges $500 an hour is the one who is working to instill that doubt that scientists don't know where the water is. Right. Like, the thing is, I am skimming this email. I'm obviously not going to read the whole fucking thing.
Yeah, he's just angry that atheists have latched onto science as a big arguing point.
How dare we like a defensible thing?
How dare we like something that works time and time and time and time and time again?
Yeah, I see an email like this and I'm like, thanks to the internet, I am never at a loss for things to read. So what are you offering me that is better than something else I could be reading from someone who knows what they're talking about? Because as far as I can tell, in all these paragraphs, he does not get to any point or thing
he does not
that
offer
he wants
an alternative.
I mean, thing that he is trying to promote. And I read stuff like this, and I'm always immediately looking for what are you getting out of this, and where are you going with this argument?
So while we're talking about like science and science working, I do want to bring up like one slight point of like science isn't perfect, and
Sure.
it has made mistakes before. And a lot of times you'll see people bring up things that have been discredited that were quote unquote scientifically proven and then turned out later to be false as evidence of science being fraudulent.
Yes.
But like, yes, there were terrible things that were done in science's name by falsifying data or using incorrect methods that come up with the wrong kind of results. But that doesn't mean that the whole of science is automatically false because of it. Like, it made mistakes, but we corrected those mistakes, and we are actively always working and searching to correct more of those mistakes.
And what method did you use to correct those mistakes? The scientific method. Yes. Science corrects itself.
Yeah, which religion, when it comes across a mistake, just kind of splinters.
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't see splinter science factions.
Both things are true. That's right.
Well, each will say that the other one is definitely not
definitely
true.
False, but